Hey everybody, this is Kathy, Crowder's Mountain, North Carolina. I hope you're all doing well, and I welcome you back to another barn quilt video. And again, thank you for your patience. I know I'm just real sporadic in posting videos, and that's just the way I have to do it for now. Anyway, I had another client, actually 3, that wanted this mariner's compass. Now this mariner's compass is a little different than the first one that I put on the video. That was, I don't know, maybe last summer. You can go back and look at that one. But this one has a lot slimmer points to the star. So many people like that one better than they do the first one that I put up that's got the chunkier star points to it. So anyway, go back and look at that one and you can compare. But we're going to do this one today. I had a 3x3 and 2 of these 2x2s. So I'm going to show you how to do the 2x2 today. All right. And before I forget it, if you wouldn't mind hitting subscribe and hitting the like button, and I think that's all you have to do. Well, comment too. You can comment. Anyway, the first thing we need to do here is to find the center. And you know, I'm using paper. In case you've not watched one of my videos before, I use paper for you guys to show you how to draw the pattern, because my heat erasable pens they just don't show up very well on camera. So I'm just using my Sharpies, and I'm trying to make sure I get this just right. All right. I don't think y'all can see that. Let me get another pen. Let me try this pencil, y'all. Let's see. Let me get back on here and try this pencil. Yeah, you can see that better, can't you? Alright, so we're trying to find the center. But these blocks, these lines that I'm drawing, they're going to be used too. Trying to get that right on that. So we're going to be good when we're drawing the rest of it. Alright. Now, we're going to find the center here as well. So if this is 24 inches, we're just going to make a tick mark at 12. Get it right on the 12 mark. So we're just making a tick mark at 12 inches now. And you know, if your board is cut different, if it's not exactly 24, just make sure you have the same amount left over at the top as you do at the bottom. Just center up that 12. And if you get that centered, your board's going to be fine. Okay. So you may be able to see these squares. I use the flip chart paper. Oops. And I didn't ring that just right, but we can fix it when we are taping up. All right. So find the vertical and horizontal center. So right here is our center. And that's going to be important because we need to draw circles. So what we just did, let me explain it a little bit better. What we just did was actually draw some of our pattern. You see this line is this line going all the way down. That line is this line going all the way down. And these center lines, the one in the middle is actually this one. And the other one here is here. So now what we want to do is draw this circle. Now, I drew mine 1 inch down from the top because I wanted some white in there. I just thought it defined the circle a little bit better. And I made a 1 inch circle. So let me show you how I did that. I'm probably going to use that pencil again. Alright. So, don't kill me. I bought this table and 2 chairs for $50 from a friend. Just so I would have a table I could beat and bang on down here in the basement. So I'm putting a nail right in the center of that. Now, watch me tear up the paper. Now, I'll do it. On my board, I do the same thing. On my board, I find the center and I put just a little tack right there. Because this is a demonstration compass that I found on Amazon, and that's how I draw my circles. But if you don't have one of these and you don't want to order one and you've got a yardstick, then you just make your hole down at the end of the yardstick and it'll fit right over that, and you can put I put a hole like every 2 inches, and then I got up in here and I needed it every 1 inch if I was doing this. So you could stick your pencil here and go all the way around. So you don't need this, but I like it. And it's very helpful because, like, here's the end of my paper, and I want to I thought, what wrong? All right, so I can see my line. I don't know that you can see it, but I can see my line right there. So I'm right on the end of you will be at the end of your board. I'm at the end. Well, let's play like this is a board. We're at the end of our board, and we're gonna go down 1 inch. And I'm going to tighten it up. And see, this is holding my spot for me. So I'm just going to go around. And I'm kind of pulling against that at the same time, so my circle will stay the same. Alright, now I want my circle to be an inch thick, so I'm going to go down another inch. So I had that set on 11, and now I'm setting it on 10, and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, see, we got our circle. Now, I've shown you before in the how-to videos how to tape up a circle. So go back to them. I think I had like 8 of the how-to videos done. I may do some updated ones at some point, maybe this fall or winter when you can't get out of the house. But for right now, we've got our circle. Now, we can take our nail up. And we've got these already, right? So what we need to do now, let me get a smaller ruler. Alright, so we're going to mark these right in here in the center. We need a line here that's 5 inches. So we're going to, I hope this is light enough for y'all. Alright, so I'm putting it on 2.5 right here. And I'm just going to make me a mark here and here. And I'm going to turn it around and do the other way. Same thing. I'm putting 2.5 in the center. And I'm making a mark on 5 and 0. Okay. Now I think I can use the color markers now. Let me get the bigger ones. I'm trying to get dark ones that y'all see. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. So here we go. We're going to draw that line. Did I lose my tick mark? There he is. We'll draw that line 5 inches long. And this one is 5 inches. Alright, that's the first thing as we're drawing our points. So now we're drawing 4 points, okay? So you see that mark here that intersects with our circle, and all we're going to do is draw our line. See that? Alright, then we're going to find the other one down here, and we're doing the same thing. And we're doing the same thing to this one. So just remember, it's the ones that we drew the diagonal line. Is there a word? Diangular? Is that a word? It may not be. Alright. So now, you see this line? That divided it in half. Because we're going to put two colors. See? We've got two colors, a dark blue and a light blue. Right here. Now, let's draw these, the gray ones. We got 4 of those as well. Now, for those, let's take our small ruler again. I'll get a different color. And we're going to start, let's see, we're going to start at each side here and make a mark at, so I'm gonna put it on 4 right here. So that we don't have to go back and measure again for those smaller points. We're going to do both of them measuring at the same time. So here's 4. We're going to make a tick at 2 and 0. And we're going to do it on all sides. So this is going to be part of the little ones too. It just keeps you from having to put the ruler back down again on the same spots. So we're just doing 2 and 4 now all the way around. So you got 2 inches here and 2 inches here. Now, like I say, is there another way to do this? Maybe. All I can do is show you the way I do it. And it works. But other people may have an entirely different way of getting to the same point. Alright, so now we're doing the gray ones. So we're just going to follow our vertical and diagonal lines. Vertical and horizontal lines now. So here it is, where it meets that circle. And that first 2-inch mark that we made, that's where we're going with our lines. Y'all, we finally got some rain. I hope y'all did as well. I just wanted to go stand out in the middle of it. And if it hadn't been storming, that's what I would have done. All right, now see, we've got our gray ones. That is the second layer. See? Oh, what I did on it. The second layer. Now, there's 4 of these and 4 of those. But now there's 8 of the small ones. Now, you see how I did, here is that 2-inch mark, the first one we made, and there's the second one. But now we've got to go back and make 2 inches on each side of these gray ones. Alright, so that's the 4 gray ones, and on each side we're measuring 2 inches. Now, we've got 2 inches on each point, on each side of each point. Now you want to make sure you get those points, the 8 little stars, like our 3rd layer, you want to get them even here. But we don't want them as long as the first 2. So what I did to get that, I didn't use my round protractor. I just laid my roller down here. And that's 8 inches across. And I made a tick mark at 4. So I went from point to point. And it might not be exactly 8, so just measure it between the 2. And center it up. And put it at, and see what you're doing is, that's almost an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. So you're making your point smaller. We've got 8 of those. Y'all already figured out what I'm doing. I know you have. There you go. Let's make that in blue so it'll stand out for you. Do look at that. Look at all that paint all over that. Okay. So you see the point we just made? And these points, we're just going from that point to the one we just made on all of them. So that's 2 inches. Now, let me stop and say, you know how we divided these with our lines? These are going to be solid. So no matter what color you use, because these are sort of background points. So like you could pick any colors you wanted to, because it's compass. Just make these background points darker than the rest of it. So it'll make these 8 points stand out. And there you go. That's not too. Good grief. I'm sorry. As soon as I drew that, I thought it looked funny. Yeah. I'm always doing that to y'all. It's life. I mess up. The problem ain't a problem if you see what you've done and fixed it, right? Problem, not problem. Okay, now we have to do, let me show you. You see these points? These 4 points here? I'll show you how to do those. Now remember, we already have our line going down through the middle. But the only thing we have to do for that is see these lines here? The ones that's directly opposite from that point. we want to get our ruler right in the corner of our board and right on the edge of that. Now, if you want it real wide, you can make it real wide, but for the 2x2, I liked it this way. Put it on that one and go back to the, and you're just drawing from the line up. That way you can get it. All of them the same size. You see that those look more proportioned. If I did it way up here and tried to even it up with that line, you see that it would be way over here. And I think that would look fine if it was on a bigger board. But on a 2x2, you gotta remember to make your space, make the width of those proportion to this. So there you have it. Now what I did for that would be the north and south and west and east. Now, if you can freehand paint that, go ahead. But I couldn't. So what I did, now if you got removable stencils, you can do that. And that's what I did. I used my Cricut to cut out. I used removable vinyl and used my Cricut to cut out my letters. Okay, here you go. Let me show you the colors. All right, for this dark circle and these dark points, the 8 here, I used indigo cloth. All right, so for the gray, I used 2 shades of gray. The light one is Silver Bullet. The darker one is Gravity. Then the blue, this lighter blue is Something Borrowed. And the darker blue is Deep River. And for the white, I used Ultra White. And then the black for the lettering, I used Limousine Leather because I wanted it to be dark and show out. So there's the colors, and most of these are Valspar. Some, I can't remember, some of them may be Bayer, but most of them are Valspar. But they're all exterior semi-gloss, and I bought all these, came in quarts, and because this is some that I use a lot, so I wanted to buy the quarts so I can get the best stuff, because these especially be hanging out in the sun, and I didn't want them fading. And I put 3 coats of Valspar, urethane. Let me show you. This is what I always use. It's Spar urethane, water-based, and it's crystal clear semi-gloss exterior. So it has to be that. And I know there's a debate whether you seal it or not. I do. And it's just my preference. I like the way it looks, and I like giving it that extra protection, and it doesn't hurt a thing. So there you go. There's the colors.